Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Black Adam back at it again. I'm ready to talk about this weekend and Free Comic Book Day and Wolverine and Star Trek. I saw Wolverine and I saw Star Trek, and I also went to Free Comic Book Day at 3 different shops, and I want to talk about all of it. It's been a very exciting weekend, and it continues to be a very exciting week as I have my book club this Wednesday night coming up at Borders in Timonium, Maryland at 7:30 p.m. We're going to be talking about 52. So if you're in the area, come stop by and see us and say what's up. And anyway, so I got that, and then Star Trek comes out officially Friday night next week, so I'll be going to see that again. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Star Trek again. But before I talk about Star Trek, I want to talk about Wolverine, because I've just been all over the place with this movie, and I saw it Friday night and I saw it this morning, and Friday night I was just so excited. The whole time I was on the edge of my seat. I was having so much fun watching this movie. That's the biggest thing, is it's very fun. I want to talk about critically what's going on here. You know, I'll start with the good stuff. Pretty much I think this movie is great, and I think that everyone should go see it and make up their own opinion, because it's not something that can be pigeonholed as the Elektra or the Ghost Rider, you know, one of these movies that's just downright offensive. I think Hugh Jackman nailed it. I think he is the character, and I think I can never remember this dude's name, but the dude that played Sabretooth was epic. Sabretooth in this movie was fucking tight. He was so sick. I mean, he just held his own the whole time. So the way I'd explain it best is, like I told my dad, it's like a sandwich. If you think of the dialogue and you think of the story as just the outside crust, the supports, so to speak, and you think of the action and the pacing and the sequencing as the meat and the cheese, then you can really understand it. And then the plot's like the mayo, because the plot wasn't as bad as, say, like the story. The script itself was just, you know, pretty rough at points. Again, except for Sabretooth, who was sick. But the plot, the actual, you know, this scene, then this scene, then this scene, that was actually pretty good. I really liked how everything flowed. You know, it had a very kind of continuous feel. Nothing ever felt slow. And it was just full of non-stop violence and action the whole time, which really represented Wolverine well. And all the other villains in this film were just great. I could care less about some of the heroes. Gambit and some of the other heroes could have used a lot less time. And the times in New Orleans was getting to be a bit Joel Schumacher, if you know what I mean. It just had that look that I was like, nah, let's get away from this. But all the stuff on the reactor and all the stuff on the island, that was sick. Summers in school, when he opens his eyes and slices that school in half. Sabretooth when he's standing outside the school. Sabretooth with the light bulb in his hand. All that stuff is just so sick. I highly, highly recommend it. And like I said, I just appreciate it for what it is. I know that it's not Windsor Smith, and I know that it's not Chris Claremont, but you know, I still like it. I still really like it. Moving on, I saw Star Trek. I saw a sneak preview of Star Trek, and it was just amazing. For any Trek fan, I can't imagine them not really thoroughly enjoying it. I enjoyed every second of it. It was so much fun. It was so good. It gave me chills the whole time. Everything was just so dead on. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, they were both just amazing. And all the other support characters, Sulu from Harold and Kumar, I can never remember that dude's name. He was so good, man. He really held it down for Sulu and the fighting and the fencing. Yeah, it was just sick. So I highly, highly recommend Star Trek. It's really good for pretty much anybody that's into Trek or anybody that's into sci-fi, because it has a very, very visually gratifying look. It's very, very, very ultra sci-fi, but then it's very gritty too. You know, it has that very wet, drippy Aliens feel. at times. So, and the monsters and the aliens and things like that are not super CGI. There is CGI, but there's still sort of that, puppet, animatronics, masks, things going on in there too, makeup and things like that. So it's just a really great movie. I highly recommend everyone go see it. I'm not going to give away any of the story, or at least I hope that I'm not giving away anything that is a spoiler. So I hope you guys all see it Friday when it comes out. Next, I got to talk about Free Comic Book Day, because this year it was great. First, I stopped down at Collector's Corner. Now, that's where I have my box, and I go just about every week to get my comics. And that was the best spot that I hit all day. They had all the titles out. They really catered to the indie titles and the horror titles and the more extreme titles. So I really like that about that location. It's got real kind of a punk rock feel. So I really like that. They had gaming demonstrations, artists, pizza, bands. Like I said, all the titles. That was the best spot. Collector's Corner, Hartford Road, Parkville, Maryland. Hit it up. Then I moved on to Mighty KC's out in Falston. Hartford County Comics represent. We got a small scene out here, but we keep it real. Mighty KC's has been there forever. They mainly cater to DC Marvel fans, which is cool. They got a lot of cool stuff. I copped 3 issues of Superman Confidential over there. It was real cool talking to the owner about Star Trek, and had a good time picking up some titles. Gotta say, I went to my last spot. It was hit or miss because they weren't participating, but they're a real cool little spot, and so I really wanted to kind of go over there and bless them. Just for Fun Comics on Main Street in Bel Air is a real good spot to find old, rare kind of, gems, just diamonds in the rough. That's the way that place works. You got a lot of long boxes, and it's just all about rifling through and finding the books you're looking for, because they got a ton of shit. Ton of really good shit, and it's all priced real nice. However, they don't carry new comics, so they're not quite at the subscription level yet, but we're going to get them there if we keep supporting. So make sure you go out and you support your local comic book shops. Hit them up. They take care of you. You take care of them. And I have my Borders Book Club coming up this week, Wednesday night at Borders in Timonium/Lutherville, Maryland. Come on down around 7:30 on Wednesday night. We're going to be talking about 52. So this week's been a great week for comics, a great week for fanboys, fangirls all over the place. I got my Wizard World tickets, so I'm all set for that. Can't wait to talk to you guys about that. And I promise I'm going to do a segment on the Star Trek trade paperback countdown. So until then, Black Adam keeping it real.